What's good, gang? Cam here. Now, I usually don't make content like this, and I'm only making this because I don't really see content like this. So I feel like this would be really helpful for someone in the future. I just released my latest project and plan on going on tour soon. I've almost reached my first million streams, climbing up to over 5,000 followers. I think I'm like reaching close to that 10K mark. Charted twice. All of this was only possible with my hard work and your support. And not only I'm extremely grateful for you guys, but I'm also thankful for all of the support so far. Now, after making music and content for over a decade, you learn a lot. And one of the first things you learn is to plan for the future. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm just giving you all the stuff that I've learned so far. Now, you might be in the position right now where you're making a lot of money from either doing your music, a business, content. And I'm not talking about money where you could just buy a phone and pay a phone, but I mean like you're making so much money that you could probably quit your job or you could quit college. Like you're making so much money now that you can't even control yourself anymore. You just want to spend it. Now, if you're in that position, I want you to do me a favor and go on a little vacation for a while. Do something meaningful. Do something where you could have a little bit of fun and just enjoy yourself for a while. Because when you come back, you have to start thinking about taxes. Then you're going to ask yourself some really tough but serious questions. Like, where am I at in life right now? Am I working a job? Am I in college? Do I really need this job? Do I really need this degree? Not get it. The money you make could be way better than a job. I know people with degrees that will probably never make the money that you probably are making right now. This is why you're itching to quit that job, itching to quit that school, itching to get away with whatever you want to get away from. But if you leave too early, you could be making the worst financial decision of your life. You want to know why? Because that money will not last forever. If you make music, what happens if people no longer is interested in your music? If you do a business, what if your stock price go down? People no longer want to shop at your spot and they want to find someone else. What happens if the trend shifts? What happens if the algorithm changes? Your views start to drop, your streams start to drop, your business revenue is down, and all of a sudden you're back to struggling again. This happens all the time. Look at all the people, especially musicians and content creators, who grow a massive fan base, and the next thing you know, they fall off within the year, and it's back to the struggle. But if you kept your job, and you kept going to college, your rent is covered, bills are paid, have money for food, health insurance, may not be perfect, but it helps get the job done. Dental and vision too. That stability will buy you time. You might be in college and thinking that, oh, my degree is going to be so useless anyway. But what happens if the degree comes back? Like, there's a market for degrees again. You're better off with a degree anyway. So don't quit your college. And don't quit your job. Instead, at least before you quit your job, you hire a financial advisor. This person will help you make sure that you don't end up like the Island Boys, or you don't end up like MC Hammer, or some other cautionary tale that will get talked about for generations. You don't want to be like that. You're going to tell them their goals because you actually sit down and talk about what you want in life. For example, one of the things I want for myself is when I hit age 40, work becomes optional for me. And by talking to a financial advisor, you'll get structure on how you can achieve your goal. Maybe you want kids and you don't want them to end up in student loan debt. Maybe you want travel freedom. Maybe you want to stop working for an entire year and come back and still have something waiting. God forbid if your music career or your content or your business somehow shuts down, you don't have to worry about all the money and stuff going away. Now, since you got your finances out of the way, right? You're going to start focusing on building the business up, right? But what if somehow, like, maybe in a couple of years that your interest for your music goes away? Like, your content stops bringing views, your business stops bringing money, then you need ways to make up for that. And then you'll probably need a bunch of other streams of income. Maybe you have, like, another project you want to work on, or you got to work on side gigs, or maybe you're like me, right? where I read a manga a couple years ago, and because of that, I wrote a whole script on a manga that I want to publish someday. But I don't really know anything about creating manga, and you don't really know how to like do that. Like for me, right? I don't know how to draw. I don't know like the business ways of like how to like get a manga published. And maybe you're in a similar position like me, right? And you're wondering, how can I do this? This is where other people would come in. And this is why it's really important to not be a jerk. Do not go around screwing people over, hurting people. Do not go about talking trash about people. You want to know why? Because you want to treat everything you say and do like it's heard by the world. So please conduct yourself like a respectable human being. Now, even if being toxic helps bring you attention or helps your brand in some way, and the market's there, obviously, but what happens when that market goes away and you've burned every bridge you have ever built with other people? You're gonna need to cross over to them eventually. Really underestimate how small the world really is. I remember, this is hilarious, right? I remember someone that bullied someone so bad, and then in high school, right? And then next thing you know, they went to the embassy a couple years later, and the person who was their officer who was interviewing them happened to be the same person that they bullied that badly. I remember another time where someone was going for a dream job, and the person who had the opportunity to whether they get hired or not was the son of the owner of that business. You think they got hired? You think that person got their visa accepted? Your reputation is everything. The people you disrespect today could end up being the same people you need tomorrow. So please build relationships, be solid, make friends. Maybe you're like, yo, Cammy, but that means I have to watch what I say? I can't say what I want? I mean, yeah, you can. You have the freedom to say what you want, but you also have the freedom of consequences of saying and doing what you want. If you want opportunities, you need to be the person worth investing in. This is just how it is. It's how the real world works, not how you feel. But yeah, that's it. I just really wanted to share my journey so far and my advice on how to navigate it. So if you like this piece of content, follow me, whatever, and leave a comment and just let me know how you feel about it. Peace.